Hello everyone, today we're going to go over the new Imperial Mandate build for AP Shaco Jungle. It still packs a punch, even though it's a bit more of a supportive gameplay style. For ruins, we're going sorcery with domination, and the key thing here is scaling ruins, plus cooldown reset ruins, and ultimate hunter in the domination category. We are going for massive cooldown, both on W and on R, which is our clone, clearly. As far as build order goes, you're going straight for Mandate into Malignance. I don't buy boots, I just get these two items right away, just because your damage does feel a little bit low in the early game. As a third item, you can get cooldown boots, and then you have a lot of options. You just go for situational uses. You can go straight into more cooldown with Cosmic Drive, you can go anti-heal, and I've even been seeing that there's a lot of success if they have a very hard engage comp with lots of melee champions going against you. Rylai's is actually a really good item. Your goal with this build is to be the ultimate support build. So the Rylai's is going to help you peel off for your carries in the game. So with Transcendence and the ability Haste Gem, or whatever ruin, whatever you want to call it, there's 18 flat ability haste from that. Ultimate Hunter gives you 31 haste. Mandate gives you 30 haste. Your Malignance gives you 35 ultimate haste. And then, it only goes up from there. Basically, you get close to a 30-second clone cooldown. If your clone lasts, if you remember, the clone cooldown starts as soon as you press the button. So if your clone lasts the entire duration, you have about a 15-second cast until you can use it again, or a 15-second cooldown until you can use it again. Now, the vulnerable effect is quite interesting. It does range from about, on average, I would say about 1500 damage, all the way up to the highest I found out of my games was 4500 extra damage. That obviously is highly relevant to how well you play, how many boxes you get, how many times you get your clone explosions going off, and how you're working with your team to get this maximized damage output. I don't know if this counts towards your final damage in your damage statistics page. If anyone knows, let me know in the comments. I believe the only other item like this is Bloodsong, the support quest item. And I couldn't find any information available to show that the bonus damage from this is applied to either your team and their bonus damage, or is it also applied to you and what you're doing? I don't know. Finally, I am almost got this channel monetized, and my hours watched are actually almost at the second benchmark, despite my subs being very, very low, and I'm not even at the first benchmark. So I need 500 subs for the first benchmark and 1,000 for the second one. If you could subscribe and make a comment, all those things would really, really help me out. The cooldown reduction that Imperial Mandate gets is so high, I just had to start trying some builds out with it. I took my cursed account from Emerald 2 all the way to Diamond with it, and sure enough, I took my main account from Diamond 3 to a low Diamond 3 to Diamond 2 for the very first time. If you want to check out the live versions of those games, I have them on the live tab of my YouTube channel right here for both of these videos. I'm still testing this, learning with it, and figuring it out fully, but I think I've tested enough to prove that it is a very viable build, and it can be actually really fun to do because you get so many more clones and boxes out. It's very, very powerful in the mid to late game. This game I'm about to show you is the winning game I got for my first time hitting Diamond 2. We actually lost, I think, for most of the game, so we were able to come back and get the win by peeling for Lucian in some key fights.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
The early game actually starts pretty slow for me. I didn't get to do too much. I think bot lane got a very early ward in, and so I couldn't do much there.
Minions have spawned.
Mid, I just had to poke at, couldn't do much there. And I mostly just had to do a lot of clearing and kind of being patient with everything. I am jungle tracking pretty well, and I'm warning my team about where he is. But despite that, they still kind of push up, and they get lane ganked by Hecarim. And that becomes the kind of the story of the game. Hecarim and Vladimir both take off like crazy and get super fed. So it's definitely a difficult game. We definitely are behind in gold for quite some time. And it definitely felt like it was a loss for probably the first 25 to 30 minutes. It was definitely a tough game. I try and go for his Gromp here because I know he went bot. I knew I wouldn't probably get this, especially not having Smite up. And unfortunately, he just walks up and smites it. I have to just give it up and get out, and just move on. And with the Kassadin mid, like his kill potential is kind of low versus the Ori, and so there really isn't a whole lot I can do. Top lane is kind of going back and forth. I think they're both killing each other a bunch. And so I just have to just start farming my camps. There's not really much for me to do. Here I actually skip my Gromp to go clear my top side because I'm trying to get level 6 for Dragon and be there on time. So I'm making a little bit of a tempo adjustment to get my XP up here cleared, and then move down, clear my bot side camps, and be ready for Dragon. So as I mentioned, I'm trying to get level 6. Hecarim ended up going for a top gank. As soon as I see that, I realize that I can get level 6 and just start on Dragon right away. And then from here, it's just back to clearing my camps. There's not much else to do at this point. From here, since I know he probably cleared his topside camps and he's heading to his bot side camps, it's pretty safe for me to just go do grubs. And I think my top laner gets a kill here as well. So I just go ahead and start the grubs and take them out. It's kind of good in these types of situations where their jungler is super fed that you're kind of trying to avoid him anyways. So we do end up getting the Vladimir kill, but unfortunately Yasuo dies along with him. And then from here, I think I see Hecarim bot side, so I might as well just wait around for the scuttle spawn, check his top side, see what's there, get vision, drop a ward, I think, maybe, or just get timers revealed for jungle camps. And you can see this is it's already a very hard game for me. They're getting fed. I'm not even able to get to a lane before someone dies or is really low. I'm trying to clear my camps as best I can. Here we're able to get another kill on Vlad. So at least it's something. But overall, it's been difficult to make some plays, but at least I'm sticking to jungle mechanics and macro. If he's bot side, I need to do something top side, and I'm able to at least get objectives and get something out of a play. You know, he makes a play, I make a play. There's got to be something I'm getting on the map. So one of the bright sides of Mandate is it's very cheap. So 11 minutes of the game, I have my first item and then some with the Blasting Wand. And so now I'm able to start to really kind of prepare objectives. I want to box. I want to have 2 to 3 boxes down every time we do an objective. I don't want to ever try and fight. You never want to fight as AP Shaco without boxes down. You have to talk to your team a lot. And you can see here, you know, Lucien got caught out for some reason. We knew they were in the area, yet he still went in that bush. And I think I'm just barely able to survive out of here. And you know, it's just kind of is what it is. With some good clone control, I think I'll be able to get a kill here. I'm just attacking him for the slow. I'm following him because I know he's going to explode. We get a return kill. Trying to be a menace in their back line. And then I'm able to chase down Oriana. From here, I know I can't go back up top, so I go around the long way. And just keep an eye on Dragon should they try and do it again. I know that their boards are probably not in this area, and they're probably more aggressively put. So I catch out that Hecarim is trying to do it, and I'm able to have my team come in and help him. And this is one of those moments where you can tell that Hecarim actually, unfortunately I lose the smite battle, but you can see that even though it's a kind of more supportive item, I'm still able to do pretty decent damage. And we end up getting a kill on Hecarim here, purely because I had pre-set up those boxes, and my clone comes in, and I get an E for the kill. We also pick up a Lucien kill, bottom. So, able to kind of get a lot of setup going with the different boxes, and make a difference. And this kill here was 1,000 gold for me, so this was massive. This was a huge game changer for me in my gold, because it really spiked me to get Malignance very early as well. And then we just go back to farming all our camps as fast as we can. And so here's that back. I have Malignance and another Blasting Wand. Because it's Hecarim and Vladimir, and then I'm really trying to, and Galio, I'm trying to go for that peel build. I'm trying to test out Rylai's and see how well it does to keep them off my carries. So here I'm just filling out if Vlad is going to greed for the tower at all. There might be a play there. Nothing happens. Immediately try and just go away. I see that there might be a play in mid. Try to get vision and boxes down for Rift Herald. And I see that Castle engages an Ori, so I throw E, get a quirky little Comet kill there. And I swear I love Comet so much. Now here's the problem I made. I should have boxed up more, and I didn't even wait for my smite on cooldown. So I should have just been boxing here, preparing for the objective while I wait for smite. It was about 3 or 4 seconds off cooldown, and so sure enough, Hecarim kills Cassidin, comes checks on me, and he just takes the Rift Herald away from me. He didn't even have smite, I don't think. I just failed to kill it. So I have to clearly get out, and I just wasted a whole lot of time. And yeah, that was kind of sad. I really should have just waited a little bit more time and just not given it at all. Here's just a good example of just use your clone to just have multiple purposes. Here I was just trying to clear the wave. Wasn't trying to do anything much more than that. But get some boxes down and stuff, and you can see that the build is actually doing quite a bit of damage as well. It's not a nothing build, you know. So there is a lot of damage it can put out. Unfortunately, they actually had Hecarim had the Richard buff, so he got backed quickly. Vlad backed on spot, so we were able to catch him, chase him down, and get some kills. We could kind of see that here.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
So this is where team fights become a big problem. Hecarim just dives our back line, as Hecarim does when he's fed, and is just like one-shotting Soraka, one-shotting Lucian, and so it's really up to us to try and prevent that from happening, and it takes a bit of time. It's only really into the late game that we're able to finally stop this. I do a lot with my clones to stop things, but there's only so much I can do when some of our carries just get annihilated.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
So my Cassidy gets caught out here. I don't know why he would face check this, but he does. Gets annihilated. I'm able to pop my clone and just barely get away here. Orion's trying to ult me. But I'm able to actually return and get a kill. Again, my clone is actually doing some work here, and then it explodes on Galio, and we're actually able to pick up that kill. Again, the bonus damage, I guess, from vulnerable. We're able to pop him out. Get the kill on Hecarim, so doing that thing of peeling and stuff, and this is again where the high cooldowns and your deceive has your Q has low cooldowns, so and then the Rylai's even, it really helps you chase people down quite a bit. And this fight was a little bit back and forth for both teams, and you kind of see again the power of this build is not small, and I'm able to basically completely one-shot the Varus here. If you look at my build, I have Mandate, I have Malignance, and I rushed Rylai's. So that's, I don't even have boots yet. I'm 604, I'm just doing my best. I'm taking the fights I can. It's just standard jungle mechanics, and you can see my cooldowns are really low here. And I can do a lot with my clone. Start using your clone for farming. Start using it for scouting. Face check bushes with it. Clear pink wards with it. It is now on such a low cooldown, you can use it for like any purpose whatsoever and not worry about not having it up potentially in a fight. Even if a fight breaks out, it'll probably come up in the middle of that fight for you to be able to use in some way. If it breaks out in a chaotic fight again, I need to be doing a lot more boxes for my Lucian here. My clone does explode, get some damage from that Malignance down. I end up getting a little E on Galio and to get another combat kill. But ultimately, you know, Hecarim is all over our back line. I can't do a whole lot, and we die from it. This just goes back to what your purpose is stop thinking about trying to be any like aggressive Shaco. Just know where your carry is and box for him. Constantly box for him. Besides me, Lucian is the carry, and he's the one that I have to make sure to protect. No one else. Make sure he has exits to run to. He only needs like 1 or 2 boxes to really get Hecarim off him, and then he can use his own kit to kite and such. And once Hecarim does his ultimate, does his little move speed charge, he's kind of useless after that, and he can't chase you down very well after that. So, And so here they actually, this is the things that you have to do, like take advantage of the mistakes. They take a very bad Baron call. We get there in time, and we're able to peel successfully for Lucian. And I'm putting boxes behind him, so he has somewhere to run to. And because they don't have anything up, he's able to kind of run rampant and kill everyone. They don't have anything left to catch him. So we're able to get all these kills and also take Baron off it. And so I was trying to chase down Hecarim to get the kill on him, just in case he tries to come back in. Fortunately, I don't get him in time. But you'll see my clone actually explodes, and my cooldown is at 18 seconds or something like that. So it's that short. My clone lasted its full duration of 18 seconds, and now it's got an 18-second cooldown to use again. So you can use it for so many different things throughout the game. And so here I'm just, again, trying to box, trying to get vision, using everything I can. And I'm able to use my clone to just pop over the wall with a flower and get more vision, see what happens. Doesn't matter if it's not much, it's something and gives us somewhere to play. So this fight here is another example of what you're trying to avoid. This is what you're trying to stop, which is having boxes available for your backline to peel and kite against these champions that just engage. Riot loves the bruisers that have super tankiness and high damage that can just kill your backline, right? And so you're trying to set up to prepare to prevent this. I didn't get boxes in a good place in time. I didn't have my clone in a good place. I think it was on cooldown there, so usually with Hecarim, if you have your clone wherever he's going to dive to, explodes in his face, he gets feared, he gets damaged, and you can kind of react a bit better from that. But unfortunately that fight, I couldn't have it. I couldn't get it to happen. As you can see, like, we're down 4K here. It's not looking very good. It's a tough game. They're already pushing into our base. We're feeling like it might even end right here. But we just need to stay strong, don't tilt, and understand what are the core ways to come back from, you know, a game where you're behind in League. Those are the important games to stick through, to make sure you're not giving away free games. And so I just need to continually remind myself to peel for my carry. Here again, this is an example of chasing down people with Rylai's, with your E or Deceive, or Q, and seeing what can happen. We might be able to get this pick here if we're able to. Fortunately, we weren't, so it doesn't matter. But the idea here is you can actually have a team that runs someone down because you can constantly Q forward, E, you know, stall, Q forward, E, stall. It's something I've caught out some of their carries before, and it nets us a kill and a priority on the next objective. And so on that mindset, I'm trying to box the sides, box flanks, box the side lanes in lane, or the sides of the middle, any lane you're kind of preparing to fight in. These are really important parts to try and box up. Obviously, don't let minions go into your boxes. That was kind of a flaw there. But trying to constantly remind yourself to box for your carry somewhere. Unfortunately, the mid lane is obviously a very hard thing to box for. And again, he just kind of runs straight through. There's not a lot of choke points where I can catch Hecarim out. And as a result, aren't able to do that. Now, luckily, he overextends like crazy. And now, like I said, the QE, Hecarim's used everything, and he doesn't have enough to actually kill Lucian. So we're actually able to take him out here. I'm actually able to peel properly. And we keep Lucian alive. He gets a shutdown on Hecarim, and we're continuing to build up and make plays off their mistakes. They are overextending. We have a late game cast. Level 16 late game cast in is a win con for us. So we are stalling and making sure we can continue to survive this game. And if you look at my items right now, I have the cooldown boots, I have Malignance, I have Imperial Mandate, I have Rylays. I'm working on my next cooldown item. I have anti-heal as well for Vladimir. We can review the cooldowns on my abilities. I have a 37-second R, less than 5-second E, 8-second W. You know, I think it's like a 5 or 6-second Q. So it's pretty crazy what you have available to you through your kit. So here you're just kind of at this stage of the game. It's like a whole lot of nothing burger. You're waiting for them to make a wrong move. You need to be using your box on cooldown. You're trying to scout, trying to get vision. I usually have award for quite some time in the game. Very specific situations where I get a sweeper purely for trying to carry the game through vision. And then I move into, now I can use my clone just purely for scouting and face checking things to make sure no one else on my team face checks, or to get more information to make a move, to understand where they might be coming from. And sure enough, they kind of reveal themselves. And sometimes you get ultimates out of it. Sometimes you blow, Banshee shields or any type of, spell shields. And you're just kind of trying to be macro oriented, trying to set up as many boxes as you possibly can. This was a very chaotic team fight. I tried to send in my clone to do something, but I was so far out and Lucian was on the completely other side. Soraka came in with some clutch heals, super clutch heals. And as a result, we're able to pretty much win this fight overall, just barely. But Cassidy picks up a triple, so clearly he is, I think he actually picks up a quad right here. And so clearly he is now kind of online, and we survived, so despite losing the vast majority of the first part of this game, we're playing into our team comp, we're playing into our win con, and we're actually surviving and getting objectives. And again, these types of games, it's now roughly even gold-wise, and it's so much about who catches who's set up better. These kind of games actually are where Shaco kind of shines in many ways, where your setup for boxes can completely change the outcome of the fight. And so I'm fishing for anything with my clone that I can catch out. Maybe it's a spell, maybe it's a champion, who knows? but just trying to get information and vision on everything. And of course, your clone is excellent at clearing waves as well. Even more so if there's champions nearby, because it's going to proc malignants and cause the ground to burn. So always think that your clone can be used for clearing your camps, for clearing waves, and getting vision, clearing wards, all these things. So with our Cassidy online, he's starting to get solo kills. And that's letting us do our job in protecting Lucian so much better. And so their Orianna dies, and now it's pretty much a 4v4 top lane, and it's a lot easier for us to deal with their front line. And you can see they're starting to get a little bit desperate. Maybe they got tilted, I'm not sure. But they're trying to make plays without some of their carries, and we're able to actually start allowing our Lucian to survive and peel for him in the best way possible. My boxes get Galio knocked out. It makes them Hecarim use a bad ultimate. He gets pushed out. We're able to push their tower down and get some kills there. And, you know, all their cooldowns and summoners are starting to get used. And so we're starting to get ourselves back into this game. Or now we're actually back into the game, being the fact that we are up in gold now after being down a 4-5 deficit. And they're actually having a lot more issues killing Lucian at this point. And one thing I want to point out here is my reactive play at the very start for taking that initial dragon prevented them from getting soul here. So it's really important to make cross-map plays when you can and be ready for the early dragons, and it tremendously helped us here. You know, make sure we stay in the game. And then coming up here, it's one of my oopsies. I could have popped my clone to face check this. I didn't, and I died from it. Zero reason why I shouldn't use my clone. It was up. And that's specifically the type of situations where you want to use your clone to get these face checks and use it for vision. I honestly thought I probably threw this game just off that one mistake, purely because it gave them kills, it gave them Baron, and it was kind of a really bad, useless mistake because my clone was up. So yeah, do not face check yourself. Always use your clone. If you don't have your clone up, don't bother trying to face check. Just another check-in on my items. I got Cosmic Drive, Malignants, Rylai's, Imperial Mandate, Cooldown Boots, and Anti-Heal. I have a 31-second Hallucinate, or R, 4.2-second Shiv, a 7.39 second Jack in the Box and a 6-second Q. So it's really powerful late game. Obviously, I have a 31, a max stacked Ultimate Hunter, and it's very, very powerful at this stage because you really start to feel you have a lot of control over the map, a lot of control over team fights. You just need to make sure you're properly putting your boxes down in places they don't get sweeped, and places that will actually protect your carry, and not just get hit by a tank and do like nothing, you know. So make sure they're in the right spot. So this is feeling like it's the last team fight. This feels like they're just going to win. They have Baron, but I make sure to box from my back line for the Lucian. He's got GA. I'm able to just keep peeling for him, and he actually clutches everything. And I do end up dying, but it distracts them from Lucian himself. My clone explosion is doing a little bit of work there, but Cassidy comes in, and then Lucian he's caught up. You know, he's gotten a lot of shutdowns, a lot of, we've kind of capitalized on a lot of their mistakes, and he's online, Cassidy's online, and we've pulled this one back, and we're actually winning the game now. And what felt like a completely one-sided game is now actually in our favor.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
And so Lucian's so far ahead now that he's able to get a full pick on Vladimir, and that is massive for the upcoming team fight for Soul. And I have Soul completely boxed up. And if you see when Hecarim comes in, he's trying to weave through all of my boxes. And so it's really hurting his ability to just charge in as Hecarim does. And he's trying to avoid all the different boxes. Plus, I believe I have my clone coming up here, threatening the fact that if he does try to go all in, that it might explode on him as well. So we get the soul, and I know I want to get as much vision as possible for Baron, and so I really want to get the vision scuttle, purely because he does check rewards, obviously, and so I was making sure that I get as much vision as possible and remove their ability to get rid of my boxes. Meanwhile, I'm sticking with my Lucian. You can see I'm boxing for him. For a defensive standpoint, if they charge in on him, he has at least 2 or potentially even 3 boxes to come back from. And sure enough, Hecarim charges in. Everything gets, he gets feared twice, I believe, there. And I'm keeping my clone by Lucian as well. And we end up just taking the fight. And GG. That's all there was to it. So, you know, it was kind of a rough game overall, and I'm like, we're doing this a little bit slower here, but you can see Hecarim gets hit by the first one, then he does his ult into getting hit by the second one. So we have lots of reigns to peel. Lucian gets out from his own stuff, and Cassidy's going ham on, gets the pick on both Hecarim and Ori. So playing your team comp, you have a late game carry, you have a late game carry from the mid and from ADC. So you have to kind of stall in these games and just peel properly. And it ends up being a game that we win. Not only that, it was my first game getting Diamond 2. So this is the Imperial Mandate build. Hope you enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. I'm going to be running it until I really feel it's not working anymore. And I'm going to see if it gets me Diamond 1. Happy peeling. Fucking this build, dude. It is working.
A
D2.
summoner has disconnected.
First time D2. Let's go. There it is. Lucian Soraka. Diamond 2, baby. Diamond 2. Look at that. Remember to like and subscribe so I can get this channel monetized. Thank you very much.